Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another BestBall Roundtable. We are talking Masters and got a great group. David Kirsch, Josh Decker, Jonathan Hill, and a new face to the crowd, Benjamin Ryan. Guys, how are we doing tonight?
Doing great.
Doing great.
Standing.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. Who's pumped for the Masters? We're almost there. We're recording this a few weeks prior to, due to timing of everybody's schedule and travel and stuff like that. But are you guys already counting down the days like me?
Oh, very much so.
Yeah. Any ringtones changed to the Masters theme song yet?
What?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, not yet, but I need to do that.
Absolutely, you need to do that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I do
Well,
love as soon as the Players concludes, the Masters is just like, here's all the things that we are doing this year. Like, I mean, it is just full bore. We let the players be whatever they want to be. Don't get me started on that. But then as soon as it's over, it's like, here's the menu, here's the taste of the Masters, the new Azalea package. I mean, it's just like they're full speed ahead. I love it.
Yeah.
do y'all order the food, the taste of the Masters?
No.
I've done it in the past.
I don't.
Yeah. I've been a part of a group that's done it in the past, and I think I've got some friends doing it this year, but we'll see. Well, I saw Kirsch. I saw your Masters Cup. Jonathan's got his Masters green on. I've got the Masters Cup here as well. Let's start with tradition. Like, what's your favorite tradition? Is it the Champions Dinner? Is it, the cool merch and things like that you can grab from Augusta National? What is y'all's favorite tradition of the Masters?
I'll go first. Mine is no phones on the course. It is one of the
Why is
most.
that?
It is one of the most enjoyable experiences around people who love the same game, and everyone is focused on what's happening in front of them. Yeah, no point in time is anyone bored looking down, just death scrolling or anything like that. It's even if it's just simply standing in the next to a fairway with no one playing golf and nothing else going on, you're still just there in the moment completely, and no one's taking selfies or recording it. Like, we're gonna watch the replays later because we can't see what's going on, and the only information you get is the sound of a roar coming from 16, or maybe you see a board change a score, and there's nothing better. Nothing better.
It's
than no
it's the
phones.
only place in the world
Yeah.
still where you say, meet me here,
That's right.
Yeah.
right? It's like, meet me at this place at this time.
Yep.
It's the only place left in the world. I'm really glad that I picked two because I wanted to go first, and that was going to be the one that I was going to pick. So I'm going to go with my backup choice, which is what this cup is, which is the Crow's Nest. And the fact that they still highlight and they continue to add, Eli and I were talking earlier tonight about, how do you qualify? What are those options? And there's five, and every year they add a different amateur, it feels like, or every couple of years. And now if you're the Division 1 champion, you get in. And, that's a newer one in the last couple of years. So just the way that they take care of it started with, maybe the greatest amateur of all time. You've got the Crow's Nest. You've got 6'7" Stuart Hagestad, ducking down inside there. Tiger stayed there. Everybody has stayed in the Crow's Nest for at least a night or an entire week. And I think it's great that they still highlight that part of the game.
I'll tell you what I like, and I just think it's unique, and that's the par three. I mean, there's no other tournament that has a par three associated with it, and I know not all the guys participate, and it's more of a fun day. Letting caddies hit shots and maybe having their wives or kids caddy for them. But it's just a cool laid back atmosphere. You don't get to see the players that laid back and interacting with their families that much, and so. I think that's a special part of it, not necessarily part of the 4 days of the actual tournament, but just kind of you talk about tradition, just, so many of their families look forward to doing that. And, it's cool to see the guys in a little bit of a different relaxed feel than they are on the golf course whenever it's all business. So I think that's a pretty cool, tradition that the Masters has there's no other tournament that has that. So I think that's pretty cool.
Josh, what you got? What's your favorite tradition?
So Jonathan kind of hit on it, but one of the things I love about the phones is you don't have people trying to impress people with social media of yelling things in people's backswings. So the no phones eliminates a lot of that. Of course, the exclusivity of the Masters kind of does as well. But then the concession prices, being able to grab a biscuit and depending on what time of day it is, a cold beer and it be $6 is pretty outstanding.
Yeah. Egg salad, baby.
Yes.
Man, egg salad vote early. All right. Um, yeah, I think all the above. I think every little thing about it. I do like the Champions Dinner. I think that's a pretty cool treat. And I know they do that at some of these other majors and stuff. They get everybody together, but having the winner pick out the menu and guys like y'all were saying, they're starting to tease it out more and more. So we just saw what Scotty's serving, and it's neat that you can request your favorites of maybe when you grew up or something your mom made or whatever, and have that served to some of the greatest golfers of all time. So yeah, it's
One interesting tidbit about the Champions Dinner, and I don't know how I missed this. Like, I had no idea that last year's champion pays for it. Like
yeah.
all along, I always assumed Augusta paid for it, but like literally, whatever they serve, whatever wine comes out the cellar, they're paying for. So I thought that's an interesting little tidbit that kind of escaped me for a number of years that they're actually picking up the tab.
All right. So knowing that information, one of my
Oh,
questions would be, what would you serve at the Champions Dinner? Are you bringing in like some McDonald's now, knowing you got? I mean, granted, if you won last year, you're probably doing all right in the golf and financial space. But what would be one menu item that you would have?
well, knowing that, I might go to Anwa the day before and just pick up a bunch of chicken sandwiches for $1.50. Like bring them in. But I mean, listen, I love tacos. If I could have tacos as an
Hmm.
appetizer and ribeye for dinner, I'll pick up that tab. That's okay.
I'm a
Maybe
steak guy. Steak all day, buddy.
local T-bone steak, maybe, huh?
Yeah. If I won the Masters, I might even have to like upgrade to some, Wagyu or something like that.
I'm going no
Derek?
fluff. We're going house salad with buttermilk ranch, smoked beef
What?
tenderloin with mac and cheese and Brussels sprouts, and then I love just a classic cheesecake, no topping or anything on it, and then just a
Ooh.
big bold California Cabernet. I mean, it's gonna be simple.
Did
I'll
you say
come to
a
that dinner.
did you say a bowl of Cabernet? Isn't it
Bold,
usually
bold. I'll do a bowl of
bold?
Cabernet
Okay,
on
like a
a
bowl of
bowl.
Cabernet.
Giant bowl.
We're like just taking a scoop like it's a high school dance.
Yeah,
Do you figure
That's
out what your
great.
rival is allergic to and serve that? Oh, shellfish. Ooh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
But
Oh,
isn't the story that Tiger went and the year after Phil won, he requested like one of the most expensive bottles of wine. He doesn't even drink it. Just wanted to make it Phil pay for it, and got it out. I think that was one of those tales that you hear from
uh,
time to time. But
that's
man,
probably too good to be. It probably is
yeah,
true.
Probably.
I'm
yeah. The level of
I'm a
pettiness between
simple
those
person.
two is unmatched.
Oh yeah, for sure. But I'm a simple person. I love a good club sandwich. I want, little quartered club sandwiches with like the best stuff on there. I want some popcorn chicken, some popcorn shrimp, and some cauliflower wings. That's going to be that. But we're going to do a little sorbet palate cleanser in the middle of the appetizers into the entree. I love Hideki. I think he had the Wagyu steak. So we're going to run that back with some mashed potatoes and green beans and then some strawberry shortcake for dessert.
Ooh, strawberry
So, sounds
shortcake.
like a good day. We
Yeah.
all just need to win so we can go to each other's Masters dinner. Yeah, I'll echo the steak thing. There's got to be some steak there. I do like the firecracker shrimp that Scotty's serving,
Mm.
and the skillet cookie. Right, like it's hard to beat that, but you got to throw in the vanilla ice cream with it as well. So,
Absolutely.
And y'all saw that
Absolutely.
Scotty is kind of making fun of his own injury from earlier this year by serving the
That's
meatballs,
right.
right?
That's right. The
Yeah,
ravioli.
he had
Yeah, the
puffer chef
ravioli.
oh
meatballs.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, and
That's
that's
awesome.
he was making meatballs when he cut his hand.
when he like rolled a wine glass on it because yeah,
Yeah,
that's crazy. All right. So getting off the food now, let's think back to the history of the Masters. Do you have a favorite on-course memory, like a favorite shot, a favorite scene? I mean, you might think of Tiger chipping in on 16. I mean, what's one of your favorite memories from watching?
well, you nailed one of mine was 2005 Tiger chipping in against DeMarco because that was such imbalance when he made that shot. But then for me, just growing up and David, this is probably one of yours too. But 2019, watching Tiger walk off and Charlie him run into Charlie and Charlie run into him. I mean, and it was if you remember, it was a weird start because of the weather, so they started earlier in the day. So like we had a Masters party that Sunday and everything got moved up. And I'm sitting there outside, tears of joy rolling down my face. It's like he's back. Like yeah, that's for me, and it's not even close.
Yeah, it's 29. I tried to think of. I, the first thing that came to my mind was actually a bad memory, and it was Kenny Perry not being able to close the deal because I really felt for him because he's 50 miles away from us and he's always been good to junior golfers. But the Tiger at 19, but it was the moment on Amen Corner when you've sat there, and at the time your kids are at the age now where they're starting to learn, but they don't know, they've never seen what the Tiger effect really was. And then you see Brooks, Finau, Poulter, and Molinari all dump it in the water on 12, and Tiger just hit it safely to the middle. It was just like that moment encapsulate, like that was everything that we had seen from 97 up. Like this guys in the cauldron, everybody thinks that they can do it until they get hit in the mouth, and then all of a sudden you realize, oh man, this is different. And being able to share that, see that, and that kind of moment in that just that amen corner from 19 was kind of where my mind went.
That's good. One of the ones I always think about is the Phil Mickelson shot from on 13 from
Mhm.
the trees going for it in two, where his caddy's, Bones is like, this is not a good idea. And he, throws it in there to 8 feet. Now, granted, he did miss
He
the putt,
he
but
missed the putt. Yeah.
he did. But it was an incredible shot. And I've always been a big Phil fan, over the years. So
Still?
obviously, I still am. I love him. I love him. I can't help it.
Benjamin, I
It was
love you
fun.
said that.
I
Because
know.
that's luckily where the one that
Go
was
ahead.
when Phil he looked at Bones and said something like, "At some point, I'm going to have to hit a hero shot or something like that." And he was like, "And this
Right.
is it." And
Yep.
like just that window of those pines that he hit that through was insane.
It's
And to hit it to
incredible.
where he did, like
Incredible.
God.
And that's another cool tradition. I don't know if they still do it. I I guess I didn't look the last time I was there, but they used to put pink flags out. So we went the year after Bubba won, and they had the pink flag in the rough where you knew, okay, this is where he stood, and everybody could stand there and look and like, oh
Yeah.
man, could I have hit that shot? They had the Phil one there, they had the Tiger one from the kitty litter on the right and of 11 there. So like there's always those little nods to the past too that you get a glimpse of at Augusta.
I
I,
think a lot of my memories too of Augusta, so many of them are the hero shots, and then a lot of them are the collapses. I mean, there's just so many. David mentioned a few of the collapses on 12. You think about Spieth, in the water so many times on 12. Then you think about Rory having the lead at the turn and hitting his drive on 10 up near the cabins up there and just fell apart. So there's so many of them that you can think of that also I think all of us love to see pro golfers that sometimes when they look like us and they look human, and so some of those memories also stick in your head as well.
well, that's a perfect little segue, Benjamin. I was going to ask. I don't know if I told y'all this, but if you could give a mulligan to one player for one shot, what would it be? Would it be Rory's shot? Would it be Jordan Spieth on 12?
Jordan. It has
Anything
to be
else that
Jordan.
might come to mind off
Like
the top of your head? Like, really?
it's either Jordan
I would
or
give it to Rory.
Rose.
I would
It's either Jordan or Rose against Sergio, just because I don't like Sergio, and I would have loved for Rose to have a Masters.
Yeah.
I feel like Rory and those holes after that shot up near the cabins has defined almost a decade of his golf. It
It
is
really
brought
has.
up every single. It's not even brought up every single Masters. It's brought up every single time he slips, every single time that he doesn't close it. That comes back, and like that's there somewhere in his head. It's gotta be, even if it's not like one of those. Oh, my life is ruined, and I'm never going to play golf well again. But just like if he
the
could give it
problem
another
is that
shot.
with Rory, if you go back and watch that, and yeah, I probably go back and watch too many old masters on YouTube. Uh,
They have
just
the
it's a good
vault
thing to
now,
have
right?
on
You
it.
can just go
I know it's a
straight to
great thing to have on in the
masters.com. Yeah.
background. You just kind of like look up, you're like, oh, okay, I remember this moment, or and then 45 minutes later, you're like, oh shoot. But there were so many bad shots. You can't give Rory a mulligan because which one would you give him the mulligan on? The
The
when he spun it off of 9, when he made the double on the par 5, when he hit it in 10, when he hit it in the stuff on 13. Like there's just too many of them.
the
My instant thought was probably more along Josh's line. Like, it's like, is there one that I could make almost like that re-mulligan. Like, okay, you hit that one too good. I want you to do it again to Patrick Reed. Like
Yeah.
I would really, I'd really love to pull his W back from him. If there was one shot there, but for me, it's Spieth because I think Spieth is that ball on 12 away from probably having four green jackets at this point.
Wait, he
Wow.
doesn't?
Like I think he would have. I know, right? Like I think he just would have kept winning and winning and winning, and I really think that got to him, and he was able to pull out what was it 17 in the British, but that was still a little bit of Spieth being Spieth, but I really that just go back to that moment, hit that tee shot again.
What's
I'd like to
crazy
see
is,
how.
Or
yeah,
the drop?
that was the year. Yeah, that was the year I took the kids to the Wednesday practice round and met a guy, asked him to take a picture of my family in front of the master sign as we were about to leave, and the kids had gotten signatures from everybody, and he said, "You got Willett on there," and turns out he was Willett's collegiate golf coach, right? And then he turns around and wins when Jordan doesn't.
He didn't
So,
win. He didn't win. Jordan lost it.
well, yeah. He'll be eating skillet cookie on the Sunday or I guess the Tuesday of Masters week.
Yeah,
So,
look at that picture. Who
regardless,
doesn't belong? Oh, I see somebody who doesn't belong.
there's a few of them that you probably
There's
would
a few.
cross
That's
out.
exactly
Yeah, there's
right.
a few.
There's a few.
There's a few.
Cabrera can't come back in the country
I
though,
was,
so
I was
I
about
think
to
he
say,
can though.
No, he's playing.
He's on the list.
Yeah,
He's
can.
playing.
He's on the
oh,
player
he's
list.
back in the
Yeah.
country now. All right.
He
Yep.
served his time.
So
I did see that.
yeah. He might still have a chain around his neck or his ankle or something, but
an anklet.
yeah, a monitor. You can't leave the property. All right. If you could pick, so let's think about our games. Like if there's one shot you could take, right? I don't know if anybody, Benjamin, have you played it?
No,
Okay, good. I was about to say, are you going to disappoint us all here and tell us you've played it?
no, I'm not.
If you could take one shot, right? Not play one hole, but take one shot from one point on the course. What shot are you taking?
I think
I'm
I got to
hitting the
take the
tee
tee shot on
16
12.
to it. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you go. All right. Well, I mean, mine's the tee shot on 12. I mean,
Okay.
I just feel like it's a from sitting in my comfort of my couch every year watching the Masters, it just feels like it can't be that hard of a shot, and then like it just is just it's brutal, and the winds can shift, and I heard Phil make an interesting point that's a lot easier hole for a left-hander. Left-hander pulls it long, if they scoop it a little bit, it's short and left, and the way that green, goes, kind of back, it makes it easier for a left-hander. So that made a lot of sense to me.
Too
But
bad you're
yeah,
a righty.
I'd play 12. Do what?
Too bad you're a righty.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But
Josh, you said
yeah,
16?
to me that'd be
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, 16 to the Sunday pin because I feel like it's a chance
Like
for
the tee shot or the second shot?
no on the par three.
Oh, 16. Sorry.
Hopefully it's his tee shot,
Yeah.
not his
Play
second
some
shot.
golf together, Robbie.
Sorry, I know. Never mind.
Yeah, I would just like to hit that to that Sunday pin because wedge in hand. Like if you're telling me, okay, you get to hit one shot at Augusta National, what is it? I'm like, okay, wedge in hand, least likely thing that I'm going to screw up, and you've got that backstop and just where you can hit it and see what happens with the ball once it's on the ground. That would be a lot of fun.
Well, since you said I can't play a hole, I was going to say the tee shot on number 4, but I'll take my 5th shot on number 4 because I don't know where it's coming from, but there's probably going to be a 5th shot. So if I get to finish out the hole, that'd be good. I'll take +2 on that par 3.
It's a hard one.
I knew I could wait till the end on this one because nobody else would have it. I want the tee shot on 1.
Yeah.
I
I want to stand there in front of the
almost said
clubhouse,
that.
in front of the tree. I have a really hard time with scrambles when you go start on like 16 or 17 anyway. In my head, it just messes with me. And I think being able to say, yeah, what's the shot you hit there? I just piped it right down the middle on 1 and walked off. Like,
You're an
you
honorary starter.
And walked off.
yeah,
Boom.
yeah. But
Yep.
I don't know. There's something about that when you're there and you see that and you're just sitting there and you're like, man, just a little baby cut, keep it left of that bunker right there, get
What's
it up on top of the hill.
what's the fairway just to the left? Is that the one you're hitting into? You're
9.
staying in. Okay, so
9.
you're staying
Yeah.
in 1.
I'm gonna stay in
Sorry,
1.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, I'm going with Josh. I'm going 16. I want that shot. and our buddy Donald Taylor has aced it after making two other eagles on that side. So it'd be fun to try to hit that one. So be a lot of fun. Is there anything you would change about the week of the Masters? I mean, they already got the cool par three, tradition galore. Like, is there anything you would change, add, do different that would make it any more special besides grant each of us lifetime badges?
I have a crazy idea.
Let's hear it.
The perimeter properties have some kind of stands that are also no cell phones allowed, some level of exclusivity, but you're only able to see what is on that hole. It's not the full Masters experience. So, like where it is adjacent to Augusta Country Club, there would be some stands. Maybe, of course, these would be really high. And this is a lofty. I mean, we're talking hypotheticals, right?
Yeah.
Really high stands, but you're able to see that hole and watch some of the golf there. You're not actually at the Masters, but you're able to watch some of the Masters in person. You probably need some binoculars. But I was trying to think really outside the box of like what could you maybe do that they would consider. I mean, I know they're not going to, but like, yeah, have some more viewing where you can actually see some golf, but you're not actually attending the Masters.
That's an interesting idea because literally the Augusta National changed the laws in Augusta on the height of buildings within the proximity of the National, just so that thing couldn't
To
happen.
prevent that.
There was supposed to be some condos built across the street back whenever the entrance was through Berkman's place, like Berkman's Trail,
Yeah.
and they changed the law in about a month just before the condos were starting to be built because they thought sort of like the what is it, the Chicago
Wrigley?
Cubs style.
Yeah.
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 They thought that someone could potentially have a house party and peer over. So the National would have to change their own law. And ironically, now they own that shopping center. So I guess they could maybe change the law and build their own seats.
The only other thing I would change is put all of it on TV where you don't have to log into ESPN Plus, log in. I mean, you can watch all of it obviously on Masters.com, but it's kind of spotty. We know they have cameras all over the place. Just put it on television.
So mine is a little bit kind of like what Josh is saying. So for years and years, you really were just limited to what was on TV, and the Masters app is very good, and they've made a lot of improvements on it. But one thing I would like to see is being able to watch any person or group live. They put the players like a video of each one of their shots after they do it, but I still just can't understand why I can't click on any player and just because, like Josh said, they've got cameras everywhere. Like, why I can't get the feed for every single shot for any player that I want to watch in pretty much real time instead of it being like, you already see what they did on the hole, and then 10 minutes later they update their each shot for that hole, and you can kind of go back and watch it. But I just feel like there's no reason why you can't watch each group or each player pretty much live on the app.
Doesn't it seem like just for golf in general, they could have one person for each group with like a handheld
Absolutely.
camera that's running live feeds,
I agree.
live mics. Like
Yeah.
you have to stay within a certain distance, but
Jonathan, I know
Yeah.
you love baseball. Between Major League Baseball and the PGA Tour, who do you think makes it more difficult for their fans to consume their product?
Major League Baseball.
Well, the PGA Tour is pretty close
But see,
second.
I would say baseball's gotten infinitely better.
It's gotten
Like you think
better.
about John Boy, and that he can do all those clips now. I mean, Patton Kizzire kicked his putter and he got DMZ'd off Twitter and off social media
Right.
within 20 minutes today because it showed somebody doing something negative on the course.
Yeah.
I mean, heck, Scratch is owned by the PGA Tour and it got pulled off of Scratch after they put it on. The PGA Tour gets in their own way in
Yeah.
every fashion possible.
We
Sorry,
can't
Robbie,
go-
didn't mean to derail us,
Yeah,
but that was
we
just
can't
too.
go on
I know.
Chris's rant with that one. That could take a while.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
you're right though. They do. I mean, they make it hard to enjoy it sometimes. So I saw
So
that putter kick. That was impressive and
That was.
not
It would
not
hurt.
great.
He WD'd after it.
Good Auburn
Yeah.
guy.
He pulled out.
His back started hurting. Yeah,
Back.
good
Yeah.
Auburn guy.
Yeah.
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 Yeah,
He's a hothead.
he slipped a
Actually,
disc while kicking his putter.
Yeah.
He made his wedge
Um,
putt though.
Well,
He-
the thing that I would add to the week, and I was trying to be mildly realistic because I was like, it'd be cool if they did the Ryder Cup one year or something like that, but they would never do that. The the thing that I would do is I do think every major should have at least 100 players in it. And so they have their qualification, and they always, I think this year, right now, they're at 92, and you
That's a
could still
lot.
get you could still get 2 or 3 more in there. And based on the next couple of finishes in tournaments and who can move up into the top 50. But I think every major should have at least 100. So no matter if they end up at 89 or if they end up at 94, I think the top 15 players in the world, otherwise not exempt, and the top 5 amateurs in the ranking, otherwise not exempt. So you get 20 guys in the field, and some years it's 20 guys for 5 spots, sometimes it's 20 guys for 8 spots, and they play Monday. So you've got a Monday qualifier that goes out
Championship
early in
tournament.
the morning. You've got somebody to watch. You have Tuesday, you've got just energy and excitement around it. Wednesday, you've got and the Champions Dinner. Wednesday, you have the par three, and then obviously you go right into the event. But Monday, could you imagine a 20 for 5
So you're playing a
playoff
Monday queue at National.
playing a Monday Q at National?
That's dope, Kurt. I love it.
I
Can
was
we do something where you get one random like 20 handicap
Every
in there, Jonathan?
I
Yeah.
was going to
Yeah.
say, I think anybody who lives within 20.6 miles of the Augusta National front gate should be able to show their ID and get in for one day, at least one day for free.
The value of property would go up where everybody in the world is buying
Right. But
whatever
after,
they can.
after 20.6 miles, you gotta draw the line somewhere. 20.6 sounds like a good idea.
Yeah. Wouldn't it be fun though? And I hadn't thought about this. Wouldn't it be fun to have one, like, like somebody with a big handicap get in there? Not like the Creator Classic or whatever like that, but like
There was something,
you
there
know,
was something great on Twitter. If you started every hole on the green,
Could you be?
how would
yeah.
you
Could you
yeah,
win or
could you
yeah.
win? And the answer is no.
That's not true at all. You see me putt?
Have you seen the Augusta National Greens?
Yeah, I have. I'm
Yes,
there.
that's when you put Johnson.
If you give him a caddy, you'd be fine. We've had this conversation before. Kirsch just convinced us it couldn't happen. I think it could happen.
What would you shoot if you got to take the drive of the pro? I saw that question today.
Ooh.
Still not good. Like,
So like basically you take your bad drives out of play.
still not good. Like,
I think I'd break 80,
Be tough.
but
You do?
that's about it. Like 79, 78.
Okay.
If you play to, I mean, you just have to eliminate half of the green. If you're taking it from where these guys are, on one, it's a 140-yard shot. If you're taking it from where Scotty and Rory are hitting their drives, it's a 140-yard shot.
Yeah.
Hit that to the middle of the green. It's going to roll somewhere. You're going to have 35 feet. You're not going out there to try to make birdies like they are.
I'm
Okay, what if you're
still
the
a
same
21
as
It's a
handicap.
full U.S. Open.
They're still
Like,
par fives.
survive.
They're still par fives. I'm still a 21 handicap. So it's like Robbie and I went out and did a crappy course at 150 yards. Was it Limerick?
Oak Hills.
Oak Hills. And I think I still was over par. I had 5 shots from 150 and couldn't make par on that stuff.
The greens aren't the same.
The greens are
You're
not
going
the
to
same.
start. No, but you're going to start on the par threes. You're going to start pretty much on the green if you're taking a pro's approach. So
And
Well,
Jonathan
you're
can
gonna be able
putt,
to
right?
get
He
around
told
it.
us
I
that.
can't putt.
Yeah.
If you give it a chance, like I'll give it a try just to try it out as an experiment of sorts. This is why they need
yeah.
us as media because we can do these types of things and
Absolutely.
prove. We'll talk to them. Be like, listen, bring out Jonathan.
Get one
It's gonna
of
be
the best ball
terrible.
guys into
We'll see
the
what
field, and we'll be the marker.
Yes.
We'll play fast, I promise. Yep. What's your best day to attend the Masters? You go on a practice round? You go on one of the tournament days? Benjamin, what you got?
Thursday or Friday, buddy. Thursday or Friday.
That's exactly what I have too.
I really don't have much interest in going on Saturday or Sunday, honestly. I mean, maybe that sounds a little, I don't know. I just want to see all the shots on the weekend. You know, you just can't see enough golf on the weekend. And I like it, especially on Thursday. I like a spread out course. You have morning tee times, afternoon tee times. Anybody can go low. You know, I like it spread out like that on Thursday and Friday. Whereas on Saturday and Sunday, whenever, all the leaders are clumped together and, the course gets crowded. So I'm not a big weekend guy. So sign me up for Thursday or Friday.
If I had a
I
choice
would agree.
if I
Go
had a
ahead,
choice
Jonathan.
of Saturday of Anwa, that'd be the best because that's whenever you see the actual course. But if we're talking about the week of the Masters, it's kind of like golf. Any day's a good day. Like, just put me on the course, let me walk around. Whether I'm seeing every shot, not seeing every shot, it'll be fine. There'll be plenty of replays. Kirsch will have plenty of content to talk about, and we can catch up with him on the roundtable. So I'd take any of it.
I'm going Thursday. I've been to practice rounds; those are fun, but like the excitement and like the elevated pressure of the opening round. You got your honorary starters, and then it's go time. Like it's business time for these guys. Like they are, they say you can't win it on Thursday, but you can definitely lose it, right? So somebody comes
Right.
out and screws up the first, front nine, and all of a sudden they're 4 over par. It's gonna be a long day and a half from there, I think, unless you can somehow grind it back. But
Bulls and
Thursday's
REL.
my day.
Give,
REL is
give
like,
me
lots of putts on number one. Kirsch, what you got?
give me Monday all the time. You're you're going down, you're leaving on a Friday or Saturday, you're playing golf. I got a little thumbs up there.
Yeah, there you go.
You're playing golf probably on Saturday or Sunday on the visit down. You get there on Monday morning, the merch tent is full, nothing is sold out that you want. You're able to get whatever you want early. There's a little bit less players, so there's a little bit less crowd somehow on Monday than Tuesdays, and you can still go walk the course. You can walk it in silence on the back nine before the anybody gets back there. You get to see guys on the range. There's just a more there's an ease to it. Watching, we were there a couple years ago, and you've got JT, Freddie, and Tiger playing in a practice round together, playing, skipping balls across, laughing with the crowd, doing all of that kind of stuff. And to me, I'll go home, watch the tournament. That's why I've got masters.com. That's why I've got the app. That's why you've got the extra TV up so that you can see all the shots that are happening and not just, oh, what was that roar over there? Or, that kind of thing. So give me the Monday practice round.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. All right, so let's start talking about who we think might have a good week here. Let's start with dark horses, right? So not somebody up near the top of the world rankings, but somebody that might have a Danny Willett kind of week and show up when somebody doesn't, right? Josh, I see you laughing. Who you got?
Uh, it's awful that he's a dark horse, but Jordan Spieth.
He is a dark horse
Just
for
check the
sure.
odds right before he hopped on. He's plus 3,800 to win. Like
Okay.
what? Like that's yeah. I mean it, and I think all of golf. I don't know that anybody dislikes Jordan Spieth. So that's just me. I'm really just trying to speak that into existence because he just energizes me and just like sends a jolt through my body whenever he's playing well and at the top of the leaderboard. So that's what I'm hoping happens. Yeah, and I can't take hope to the bank though. So
2 years ago, I picked Phil Mickelson to win, and I was mocked by this roundtable, and he got second place. And we just had a very interesting conversation about gambling with my son because Phil Mickelson is like plus 20 or plus 50,000. I think he's plus 50,000 for top five, plus 20,000 for top 10. So we're trying to figure out if I'm going to bet $10 on Phil Mickelson to sneak into the top 10, to break into the top 10. Because 2 years ago I called it, and it was a good. So Phil Mickelson would be my dark horse, and I know he's not playing golf well. I know, like, but he knows the national. Like
he still play
he
golf.
he plays on some Corn Ferry tour, right, David?
He doesn't even play golf, not professionally anymore.
Listen,
One of
he
those
was like second in the
entertainment
live
circuits.
tournament last weekend. Come on.
Benjamin, who's your dark horse?
I think my dark horse is Sepp Straka.
Ooh,
I think Georgia boy, local
Birmingham
guy
boy now.
there. Do what?
He's a Birmingham boy now. He lives right down the street from me.
Does he?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I think he's been playing well lately. I think he's somebody that could definitely come in and make a run for sure. That I think is, probably somebody that's a little bit under the radar, not one of the kind of bigger names that we come to follow, So that's probably my dark horse right now.
God, can y'all imagine if he were to win, what that would do just to energize the European Ryder Cup team?
They're already pretty energized.
Exactly.
Yeah, they got a great team. Is there anybody you don't want to win? Maybe
David,
that's not a.
I can
Oh,
think of
my
a
list
lot.
of don't
That
want to
list is
win
long.
is
Yeah.
long.
Anybody initials
Yeah.
for curse is like anybody's initials that starts with LIV.
Yeah.
See, I'm not on
I
that. I'm not. I love me some Bryson. I love me some Phil. I love those guys.
Curse loves Bryson.
Well, it doesn't appear anybody else does by their TV ratings, but I'm happy for them. Everybody can make their own
we had
choices.
what 55,000 viewers for the final round the other day.
They were on FS1 during prime time viewing on like 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. and had 36,000 people watching. The pickleball on ESPN3 had 4 times that many. So
He, come,
they're all
he
irrelevant.
comes prepared,
But
folks. He comes
Kirsch had this
prepared.
written down.
Yes,
Kirsch
he
had this written
did.
but
down.
the dark horse for me is Jason Day. I think it's
Nice.
Jason Day.
Oh,
He finishes in the top 25 a lot, top 20 at Augusta. He's going to have some cool outfit on. He had to turn his outfit in
Right.
for inspection to see if he
Yeah.
could even wear what they wanted to have him wear. But I don't know. He's kind of had that resurgence of coming back. He's back with his old swing instructor and his mentor and his old caddy. They've been back together for a little while now. You can tell he's got a little bit of an ease to what he's doing. And I just think Jason Day is set up for a good week.
Well, Kirsch, I'm following in the same pattern of someone that's had a little resurgence. I'm going with the captain of the U.S. Ryder Cup team, Mr. Keegan Bradley.
Ah,
Good
That
pick.
would be fun to watch.
He
That
is playing well, and I think Mustache Keegan might be wearing a green jacket or has a shot to do it.
has he
he's
ever had
plus
a top 10 there?
16,000.
What's that?
Has he ever had a top 10 at the Masters?
I did not do as much research as Kirsch on this, so
Okay.
I'm
I
not
don't recall
sure.
him like ever even being in contention as well. I mean, and I could be completely off on that. I'm just
Do
like
you
I know
think
Jason
Do you
Day's
think
close.
TGL has helped his walk up move and everything, like shorten his I'm just kidding. All right, so let's go to winners. Who do we think's going to win? Question on the side: if you're not picking him, could this be? We talked earlier about Rory. Could this be his year? He does it. Who you got to win? Jonathan Hill. Let's start with you.
listen,
Tommy Fleetwood.
Tommy Fleetwood. Yeah,
Ah,
I'm going with my spirit animal. He's had some good years. Listen, Benjamin, you don't understand. I call these things out. Phil Mickelson 2 years ago. We're calling Tommy Fleetwood this year.
yeah, he's also done Tommy for every other event.
Mostly
So
almost every other thing. Yeah, yeah. I like Tommy Fleetwood. I'd like to see him win.
yeah, it'd be fun.
And no,
He's a good guy to root for.
I don't think Rory. I don't think he pulls it off. I think he'll have a move. There will be a day where he has a move, but I don't think he's around at the
So
end.
the typical Sunday Rory charge where he backdoors into like a top 3.
Yeah.
It isn't in contention.
Right.
Yep. Josh, you got.
I think it's Scotty or Kirsch's favorite golfer, DeChambeau.
Okay.
I think Scotty goes. I mean, there's. I think he knows the place, and I think he and Ted Scott are. I mean, we know how the level of their success, and I
Ted
don't.
knows the place for sure.
Yeah, yeah, and for him to have the success he had with the lunatic that he was previously working for, and now he has somebody that's level-headed and knows. I mean, yeah, I think it's just Scotty's just the easy pick.
Yeah. Benjamin, who you got?
DeChambeau and Scotty are definitely the two that I think are the favorites in my mind. That if I was having to pick a winner right now, that it'd be one of those two.
Okay.
Rory would be a close third. I mean, he's playing good, and I do think Rory's he's going to win another major soon. And so he would probably be a close third if I was ranking them.
All right, Mr. Kirsch. Speech time.
Bryson's not going to make the cut.
Oh, wow.
That's a short
It
speech.
is. It is not happening for our guy Bryson.
Hirsch is usually right too.
The Scotty Scheffler will not finish inside the top 10. He is all over the place. I think he's a basket case this year. I think the cameras have done him very well to not show his antics.
You said Scotty's going to finish where? I'm making notes.
outside the top 10.
Yeah. Take
Okay.
notes on some of that stuff because that's just
Outs-
absolute. Just
outside the top
Go back
10.
and listen to this. It'll be there.
I might
this is
start
unbelievable.
gambling and use all of Kirsch's tips as actual bets. Because if I could find someone to give me a odds on Scotty out of the top 10, I bet I'd take that. Only
Right.
$10.
He walked off the course and he said, I am no golfer on the planet gets worse breaks than I do. And he won the Masters because his ball got spit out of the trees on 18. Like, and he was able to salvage a bogey. I mean, like, he's throwing tantrums every time he misses the putt. I'm telling you, he's all over the place. And unless Ted Scott gets to him and he comes in with a different mindset, I don't see him having the patience this year to do what he needs to do. I think Rory wins convincingly,
Wow.
more than 3 shots.
Okay.
Wow.
I thought he was surgical at Sawgrass. I thought he was creative. I thought he was using both parts of his game. I thought he was hitting the high draw when he needed it. You saw him step on it. Rory's playoff on Golf Channel was 1.3 million people watching him hit the most beautiful drive on 16 anybody's ever hit,
Oh,
coming
smoke.
right out first thing in the morning. I mean, it's just gorgeous. So he has that shot, but then you saw him on Thursday on 18 in from the pine straw. That ball never got more than 18 inches off the ground. He rolled it all the way up there to birdie range. And I just think he's doing less of the I'm going to step on everything. You saw it coming out of the rain delay. He hit that wedge from like 91 yards, hit it perfect. He's just making less and less mental mistakes, and he's kind of got that Rory 2013, 2014 bounce where he's kind of, do you remember he alphaed Phil and Ricky right off the golf course when he said, I'm going to hit up on, I'm coming out on 18 at Valhalla. That was a half a major.
Your favorite
And
course.
yeah, but
Well,
he,
if anybody wants to talk to him after the round's over, I hope he wins. Otherwise, they won't talk to him for a
yeah,
few weeks. Yeah, he is a great powder.
Well, Kirsch, I am following in your suit here. Jonathan and I we're making a little visit to Ireland. We're going to be stopping by the Tuesday of a practice round for Augusta. We'll be on St. Andrews where he should have won a major there, but I'm going with Rory as well. I think it'll be a convincing one as well. I don't know if 3 shots, but I don't think it'll be close. I think he finally gets it done. I agree with what Kirsch is saying. He's finally doing the things, playing smarter golf. It's almost like he's hanging out with John Sherman and doing the things to avoid the big blowups that he'll get every now and then. But I think this is the year that Rory finally does it. So
Just
Good pick.
for the record, 2 of the 5 people on here, one said it's not going to be close and Rory's going to win, and Kirsch said by more than 3. Okay. Noted. When's the last time somebody won the Masters by 3 or more?
Probably Tiger.
wasn't that last year?
Did Scotty win by 3 or more?
No, remember he had like 6 putts
That
on
was
the
his
one and he
first one.
4-putted it.
That was
the
his
first
first
one.
Masters, wasn't it?
I don't know. Jonathan, you doing some research there?
I'm looking up here.
Oh,
I
this
think
is-
it's going by 2.
Last year was 4 strokes for Scheffler.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah,
that
He
was
that's what I
was
thought.
he was
Wow.
minus 11, minus 7 was Auberg.
yeah.
Ludwig
And we
Auberg.
know what Scotty won in the same year. He won the Masters last year. He won the Players as well. So there's at least recent precedents for that to happen in the same year. So, all right, what are you most excited about for the Masters? We'll kind of wrap up with this. Besides everything,
How the sports world just kind of unites that week. Like it's one of the few things where we as constant consumers of golf, we're keeping up with everything every week, whatever. But that one week, like everything turns to Augusta National, and that's cool. That's fun. I mean, my daughter loves it. My wife loves it. I mean, it just kind of becomes a whole thing, and that's like one of my favorite weeks or one of my favorite things about the Masters.
I just hope we have good weather. I mean, that to me, that like makes or breaks the. I mean, it's always exciting no matter what, but like beautiful Augusta sunshine, mid 70s, like it just doesn't get any better than that. Now, I do love a little bit of wind. I like for them to be challenged a little bit, but man, I
Not
just
like
hope
last
we,
year.
huh?
Not like last year. A lot of wind.
Yeah. But I just hope that it's good weather. I love, one of the things you're talking about tradition. Like, I mean, if it's good weather, I love the fact that everybody goes off the first tee. They don't double tee them unless they have to. So, I mean, I just that's what I'm excited about. It's just hopefully some good weather and watching some good golf.
Well, I'm trying to work some magic. I got a friend of mine, shout out to Sherv. He's probably listening to this because he listens to all of us. I'm going to be trying to get him on the course for the very first time. And even if it doesn't happen this year, you know that there are people who are walking onto that property for the very first time. And that's thousands and thousands of people are just happier than they've ever been. So that's always fun. You can watch the crowds a little bit and see the excitement from just experiencing it.
So minor little side note there. One of my favorite things, going back to the question about traditions, every time I've been lucky enough to go, I always use the payphone to call my wife and my dad. And this past year, my dad got to go for the first time. And so I told him, I said, Dad, I said, you better go find one of those payphones and you call me. And that's one of
That's
the
cool.
coolest things. I mean, that just,
That's awesome.
yeah, like that's something I've always done. And it was like, I was just like I had meetings that whole day. And so I'm sitting by my phone and I'm just like, I know I'm going to jump up and take this call because if my dad calls me and it's an Augusta number, I'm jumping up and taking that call. And so to your point, Jonathan, like, yeah, like so many people are going to like just walking through those gates and words don't justify the place. I mean, everybody's heard that 1,000 times, but it's so cool to experience it. And then like for my dad to call me and him just be like, "Oh my gosh, this is so incredible!" Yeah, that's a great point, Jonathan.
Is it the best sporting event?
Yes.
Yeah. I
So
know
what?
we're all golf sickos, so we're maybe a little biased, but
We are
we
biased, but
we've
I
all
agree.
played other things, but the Masters is the Masters, right?
I
It's
think the only
it's the
thing.
best. I was gonna say it's the best venue, but the Ryder Cup, I I've been to all of it. I've been to all of the U.S. majors. I've been to the Ryder Cup. I've been to the World Series, the NBA Finals. Like
Little humble brag there.
I've gotten to do some stuff. Very, very lucky. The Ryder Cup, the Sunday at the Ryder Cup is it's unbelievable. I mean, I we were 20 feet away from Rory winning at Valhalla on that tee box on 18 when he's going up, and give me Hunter Mahan on 17 at Valhalla to go for the Ryder Cup. I mean, it was the sporting event and the spectacle of being at a Ryder Cup far superior to being at the sporting event of the Masters, but being at Augusta is undefeated.
Love it. All right, final thing as we wrap up, and I did not prep you guys for this on purpose because I wanted to hear it. I want 5 words that describes what the Masters means to you. 5 words or less.
I got it.
Jonathan, you got it.
Yep, just down the road.
Just down the road. That's a
There's-
good one.
listen,
I do think it has some added significance and feel for us being, I'm going to say close by. I don't know where
I,
everybody here lives, but
I remember
being right down the road. I'm not as close as Jonathan.
I,
You're not 20.7 miles.
No,
I
I'm not that
remember
close.
in 2010, first we moved here in 2009, 2010. I couldn't tell you the moment of what happened, but it was a nice sunny Sunday afternoon. Windows were open. I'm watching the Masters. I see the shot happen. The crowd goes crazy, and no lie, about 45 seconds later, the sound trickled through my window, and I'm like, I live in Augusta. Wow. So
Nice.
just down the road is absolutely it. There's an anticipation and excitement that you might get to go every single day. Like I wake up every single day during the Masters and make sure that I have clothes picked out that I could go to the National because someone might call me that day. Keisha and I drive separate every single place that we go now. during the Masters, because I might get that phone call at 12 o'clock while I'm at Mellow Mushroom on a Sunday and I need to go, and we've just ordered, and we only got one car. So we drive separate now every single time we go places because it's just down the road.
I love it. Who else has got it? 5 words.
A glimpse into
In
hallowed
you,
ground.
oh,
Okay, say that one more time, Josh.
A glimpse into hallowed ground.
Okay.
Just because we see it. It becomes the showcase once a year. I mean, we've all seen the videos, and of course, the beauty of the Masters Vault. You can go and watch all of them. But yeah, it's just like that moment in time when it opens up, and the patrons are there. You have the beauty of Jim Nance's voice on Sunday. Is this the first year that Vern's off of 16? So who's replacing him on 16? Do we know?
Is he? I think he might still be up in the tower.
I thought last year was his first
Yeah,
year
like he
off.
signed off last year,
Yeah.
right? I thought.
I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I'm not sure who's
it
taking
may
his
have
spot.
even been 2 years ago.
No, I think last year was the tree handshake.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
You're right.
Kirsch, what'd you have?
And Robbie.
In your life, yes, sir.
What?
Good
You
one.
just looked that up, didn't you?
What? No, I knew that's what it was, and then you guys started talking about Vern. I was like, dang it, I should have had it before that conversation. But no, in your life, yes, sir. I mean, the '05 Masters, I was actually coming back from Ohio. I was at my bachelor party. And I was on my way back, and I'd found a way to like bootleg in the CBS call while driving. And you had the in your life when it happened, and like I'm crossing past Louisville at the time or something like that on my way back to Nashville. And then obviously, Vern just calling yes sir. To me, that's the beauty of the place. It's the history. Who did he get to say yes sir to? It was Nicholas, it was Tiger, it was Spieth, it was Mickelson, it was everybody who came through. So for me, that's what it is.
Benjamin, what you got?
I think for me, the words I would say is a feeling of exclusivity. Like when you watch it, it's like, all right, it's exclusive for the players. Like, you get these guys who win their first time on tour or whatever. And like the first thing they're talking about in an interview is like, qualifying for the Masters. And then for the patrons as well, like, I mean, there's nothing that makes you feel more exclusive than having a master's badge for any one day, whether it's a practice round, whether it's, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Like, if you're going, you're like, man, I've got something that most people really wish they had right now, and like, it's just like, it's always a treat. No matter how many times you go, it's a treat. And so just everything around Augusta just feels exclusive. When you're watching it, you're like, man, I would love to be one of those fans right now, or patrons, But so to me, it just everything about Augusta and the Masters just screams exclusive and just kind of dangles it out there and makes you want more of it, So I think that's part of the excitement of that week is you're just like, oh man, this is great. Like I can't get enough of it. And then as soon as it ends, you're looking forward to next year. And you just don't get that feel with, David mentioned the Ryder Cup, and I haven't ever been to one, so it might be kind of like a similar, feel there for the excitement of going to something like that. But, I've been to a number of other tournaments, and obviously nothing carries any type of same feeling as what it is if you're going to Augusta.
I think you nailed that too, because like Augusta, it's why I like Kapalua so much. Like when the Sony, or now I forget what it's called now, but
Century.
when that first tournament happens that's like, oh, the start of pro golf season is here. It's like there's some warm weather on the horizon. The Masters is the start of my golf season, right? It's like you got March Madness, you got opening day right around the corner, but yeah, all right. Frost is going away. You don't have to worry about that anymore. You can get out and go play, and the daylight is a little bit longer, and so there's that beginning that you have that you just don't get with the U.S. Open. You don't get it with the British Open. You don't get it with the PGA. It's only at Augusta.
Yeah.
Very nice. All right, so thankfully, being the host, I get to think of mine while y'all are going, because I did not prep for this either, but mine is Augusta National Heavens Golf Course.
Mm.
because I've always described it like, what will golf be like in heaven? And I think it's going to be like Augusta National. And Jonathan and we've had this conversation before. It's like you walk through the gates and you're in a different world. It's perfect. Maybe it is the no phones, but it's no trash. It's the cleanest place ever. Everybody's on their best behavior. I do think it would feel like what golf in heaven might be like. And actually, we'll have a tee time there to play it. So it's a magical place. I think one day, and maybe next year, we can say that our favorite day, Jonathan, our favorite day of Masters Week is Monday after the Masters when media gets to play.
That's right.
But we'll keep you posted on that. I do have my you did not get access for media credentials this year on the board as motivation to keep doing what we're doing with Best Ball. But guys, this has been fun. The Masters special.
It's been great.
I think you all agree. And yeah, excited to watch the event unfold. So for Benjamin and Kirsch and Josh and Jonathan, this is Robbie. Y'all been listening to our Masters preview here on the Best Ball Roundtable.